He's Joe Montana, Niners Hall of Famer. He joins us on the program. Joe, how are you, bud?
Pretty good. How you been?
No complaints. How emotional, excited do you get watching your former team, the Niners, in the Super Bowl?
Oh, it was pretty fun, I thought. You know, if they would kind of get off to a little better start, instead of putting himself in a hole. You know, I know they've made some comebacks, but wow, that's hard to do in that game, isn't it?
Well, I'm curious how that happens. You want to say it's just coincidental, but it doesn't seem that way. How does a team allow somebody else to get out to such a big lead? It happened a couple of times to them.
Well, you know, they still got some. Well, their guys hadn't been there before, and you know, some of them get a little excited, get a little nervous, and next thing you know, they're trying too hard. Probably the biggest part of it is you got to just relax, and you can't win the game in the first part of it, but you can lose it, but you're not gonna win it that fast. So just relax a little bit, but that happened to them too. A couple times there towards the end of the year, and they were able to overcome it. But this is another pretty good, solid team that they're playing against. So,
but when you were in the Super Bowl, having played in one, what advice could you give somebody who hadn't played in a Super Bowl that you thought would resonate with them and help them sort of calm down and understand the magnitude of it and try to say it's just another game?
I think you just got to treat it. I know it's hard in the beginning, especially once you get to the Super Bowl city. The excitement is just, you can't hold it back. You know, first of all, you're used to playing a game 2 days or that day you travel. So you're excited, you're ready, your body's ready to go, but yet your mind's telling it to slow down. And so it's hard not to be excited about it, but you have to find ways just to get yourself into your normal routine and start thinking that way. And there's a lot of distractions once the family comes in. So there are a lot of things that kind of work against you. But for the most part, hopefully the organization, when Bill was there, and I'm sure they were used to that still, finding ways to keep you busy. It's not that, he wants you to do stuff. He just doesn't want you to do certain things and keep you away from it, especially as close to those hotels were to Bourbon Street. Holy cow.
Well, you have a game plan here with the Niners, and I questioned the game plan in the first half and at times in the second half and even that final drive that I just didn't think they had Kaepernick put enough pressure on the defense with his legs, and it seemed like they were intent on making him a pocket quarterback, and I just didn't agree with it. What am I missing here?
Well, I think they all believe that he can make those throws from in the pocket, and he can be a guy that can operate from in there and let that running stuff take care of itself. Because with that style of offense, he's going to get plenty of chances to carry the ball, and those are the things. That's the part that makes me more nervous than any. Is that you get a young guy like that in this game, and he's not going to think about protecting himself. He's going to think about doing the best thing he can do, and that's try to get in the end zone. When you're out there running, and I keep saying is that these guys, you watch Frank Gore, he did it a couple times. Times he went for 20 yards or plus, and he tapped himself on the helmet and went out.
Yeah.
Well, as a quarterback, you can't do that. You got to get back in there, and then you got to make another play, the next play, especially in this type of game. So I think they probably tried to control him a little bit, control his height, so that he would kind of settle into the game. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. I just didn't think that they were making plays in the first part.
He's Joe Montana.
The 49ers.
He's Joe Montana, four-time Super Bowl champ, three-time Super Bowl MVP, joining us Dan Patrick Show. As far as Joe Flacco, his demeanor, it's his EKG is pretty much flatline in there for the most part. How much of that is a benefit to a team that you got some guys who are very spirited, very in the game, but here's Flacco who's just sort of even keel.
Well, you like to see him. I mean, that's the way he's been all year, and that's the way he should be. You can't change because the minute you change, those guys all know it, and that's I think that's probably more detrimental and to anything that he could have done by trying to get all hyped up and jump around and do things that wasn't him. People would look at him going, "Oh my gosh, calm down," or I mean, that's not you. What's going on? Something's wrong. So I don't know. I just don't. I thought he played well, and I thought he did. He was exactly himself, and that's all you can ask, especially in that position. You know, he's sitting up there, and every week keep forgetting. Everybody, you don't hear a lot about him because you got New England, you got the Jets and the Giants all up in that corridor up there. So it's tough on them, and they didn't sneak up on anyone because they got a really good football team, but he kind of gets pushed in the back a lot because of where he is.
How would your teammates know if you were nervous?
The minute you get out of character, and that's.
But were you nervous and during these Super Bowls, like a big game?
Well, I think everybody. I think you should be nervous. I think you have to have a little bit of excitement in you and a little bit of like, I want to play. I want to play to my best. Because I always think people, I'm not nervous. Well, that makes me a little nervous because then maybe you don't care enough either. So I'm not sure. You know, it's that. Those are the things that your teammates know right away. That if that's how you were every game, then you'd be okay. But the minute something changes in a guy, you can tell right away. You're with the guy every day for, I don't know, 10 hours a day or more now because they feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner in all these places. So half the time the guys never leave, and so you know when something has changed.
I thought Randy Moss's comments were interesting on Media Day, where he called himself the greatest of all time.
Yeah, you know, he's a great receiver, but he's not with Jerry. I mean, he's done some great things over the years, but you know, just that effort that he gave on the ball that was over his head.
I know,
and I can't tell. You know, I know you're going to get hit, and you know it, but you can't give an effort like that, and that's what makes it the other guy different because he would have.
Future of the quarterbacking position is what?
I don't think it changes much. I think you see some of this new pistol stuff kind of getting mixed in here and there, but the guys that are playing in this right now are pretty special because they can throw the ball.
But would you have run the pistol or that kind of read option if you were coming into the NFL now?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, almost every team you see out there, even in college, is doing some version of it. But yeah, I'm not a runner like that. I would have. If I'm running the read option, I'm looking. Can I take the third option? Does that have a throw in it somewhere?
But you imagine Steve Young in this style of offense would have been catered to him.
Yeah, there's another runner because he can run. But I'm looking to give it to somebody.
What was your?
I wouldn't even thrown it to you.
Oh, wow. What was your fastest 40?
4.7.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I didn't have a plow behind me, but I was close.
If you were a top high school quarterback now, where would you go to college?
I think some places it's just going to be determined by what you want to do and what you're looking to do. I mean, if you're going to throw the ball, you want a more traditional style. You get into the Penn States or the USC or. But a lot of these schools are all switching over to that read option. So it's kind of hard. You know, you have to be able to do some version of it, but a lot of them just still can use it, you know, as a mix-up. But the problem we would have had was that Bill didn't like the shotgun because the guy snapped the ball over my head the first time we tried it in the game, and that was the last time. So we never.
But it's amazing, Joe. These guys haven't taken a snap under center before. You had guys who were in the pros who had never done it in high school or in college.
Yeah.
I always thought, isn't it an advantage for you to – I always thought under center gives you more options with what you can do with deception, the plays you run. You know, I think when you're in the shotgun, aren't we seeing everything in front of us as opposed to a little bit of deception?
I have a tendency to agree with you. I think from under there, you don't know. Even what types of runs you're going to get. And most of the time when you're back in there, you know you're getting some kind of read option. You know, and defending it's a different story. You know, and I think also that guys will have a chance to look at it a little bit more now that they think they're going to see it. Most teams, I think, hadn't concerned themselves with it because it's only a few plays. It reminded me early on how sort of like the Wildcat, where I got the Wildcat, but I only have to deal with it a couple times, so we won't really go after it. And I think once guys put their mind to it, they'll figure something out. You got too many smart guys trying to figure out a way to stop it. And I had two different ways to look at it. I thought the best way to defend it was to make the quarterback carry the ball all the time, because then you put him on the run, and then you get chances to take shots at him, and then by the end of the game, now is he still the same guy that was there in the beginning? And then I heard the other day the way that people were approaching it is, don't make him carry, make him hand the ball off all the time. And which seemed to make a little bit of sense. So I go, well, no, but you're giving it to a guy who runs the ball all the time.
As a living.
And that's what he does.
Yeah.
Right? And he doesn't have to do anything but that. So I don't know. I think you can go kind of either way. But you got to take one of them out and concern yourself with trying to stop the other part of it.
Nice Super Bowl commercial there with Tide.
I looked pretty good as a stain, didn't I?
Yeah, you're quite the actor there.
I know. I didn't have to say a word. I was good at that.
There's a YouTube page for this, the Tide commercial?
Yeah, you can get to it through Tide's Facebook page.
Oh, good.
To get to it, too.
Have you been in a movie before?
No.
Never?
No.
Wow. Well, you sound a little down that you haven't been asked to be in a movie.
No. I could never do that. I'm not very good at acting.
Well, you weren't in Rudy.
Uh-oh.
No, are you still catching flack over that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. But I didn't set you up with that, okay? Did I? I didn't lead you to slaughter. You sort of you said what Rudy was, right? I feel bad.
Yeah. What?
I feel bad.
Oh, no, don't feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad. I would do it to you if I could.
If they make Rudy 2, you're in it.
No. But I thought your name was on the list for Rudy too.
No. Now I watch Rudy differently.
Because he was going to be a basketball player.
Maybe it's the Manti Te'o story.
Oh, well, you could get in that, I think.
I can be the voice on the other end. How much grief is he going to get with his teammates when he goes to the NFL?
I think it gets a little bit, and then it kind of just goes by its way.
What about opponents?
Oh yeah, no. Everybody will get on him for a while, and then it'll play out, and then it'll be gone. Then it's all about whether he can play on the field or not.
The website, youtube.com/Tide Laundry, if you'd like to see The Miracle Stain with Joe Montana, some of his best acting since the Razor commercial with your wife.
Yeah. I know I was pretty bad in that. She kept it. She made the commercial.
Well, we weren't looking at you.
I'd be worried if you were.
Good to visit with you again, Joe. Thanks for joining us.
You too.
All right, bud.
All right.
That's Joe Montana. Yeah, that whole Rudy thing, he said it was a lot of fiction in there. Then all of a sudden, everybody's coming down on Montana, and he's got to defend himself. Because Joe was at school at the time when Rudy was there. And then Paulie's like, oh, there's no way I'm going to believe that. Can't do that. Rudy's my favorite movie.